This time, I'd like to talk again about something I've always wondered: why doesn't the Japanese government see this as a problem? The Chinese Communist Party has been heavily propagandizing that Japan is destroying the natural environment with contaminated water. Moreover, those who come to Japan and desecrate Yasukuni Shrine are also claiming that Japan is polluting the Pacific Ocean with contaminated water. They're saying that Japanese marine products are dangerous and have stopped all imports, continuing to pressure Japan. So, what is China actually doing? Please take a look at this. Chinese fishing vessels are catching fish in the same areas they claim are contaminated by Japan's radioactive wastes and dangerous. While Japanese fishing vessels are criticized for catching contaminated marine products, the Chinese are fishing in the same waters and then eating that fish. This clearly shows that the Communist Party's claims are nothing but propaganda. There are people in Japan who too easily fall for the Communist Party's claims. China says it's dangerous, yet they're fishing and eating the fish themselves in those waters. When you see the Chinese Communist Party still spreading lies on Twitter about Japan dumping contaminated water, please respond by pointing out that Chinese fishing boats are catching fish in the same dangerous waters. This is malicious propaganda meant to damage Japan. The Communist Party's claims aren't scientific or environmentally concerned, they're just a means to politically pressure Japan. This situation is no longer just propaganda, it's becoming serious. The Chinese Communist Party is not only persisting with anti-Japanese propaganda but is also urging other countries to align with China against Japan. The reality is that China's actions are causing real harm, as seen with Russia. Russia, following China's lead, has banned the import of Japanese marine products. Yet, Russia is also fishing in the same waters, just like China. This situation arose after a meeting between Putin and Xi Jinping. Now, Russia is in a position where it has no choice but to follow China. It's pitiful that Russia would go so far as to abandon its pride and follow China's lead. By the way, as someone who has run this channel for a long time, I've made videos criticizing Putin and Russia from a Japanese perspective. Despite this, there's a surprisingly large number of people who defend Putin, saying he's pro-Japan or a patriot. I can understand why some Japanese people might be fans of Putin. I believe Putin has a deep respect and understanding of certain aspects of Japanese culture, particularly the spirit of Japanese martial arts. Globally, things like martial arts have been turned into sports, losing some of their original spirit. In Japan, for example, making a fist pump after winning a kendo match can lead to disqualification, whereas in the Olympics, celebrating a win in judo with a fist pump is normal. To Putin, this might seem disingenuous. He's a former KGB agent, so to him, martial arts might be about life and death struggles. The spirit within Japanese martial arts might resonate with him as being more real. It's possible that some Japanese people see this and become fans of Putin, thinking that he understands Japanese culture on a deeper level. However, I don't think it's wise to become a fan of a politician. It's one thing to be a fan of a celebrity or artist, but being a fan of a politician can be dangerous because you might end up supporting everything they do, regardless of whether it's in your country's best interest. I hope those who admire Putin evaluate him from the perspective of what he's doing for Japan. Putin might have a pro-Japan side, but above all, he's Russia first. No politician prioritizes Japan above their own country, so we need to judge them by how they impact Japan. In that sense, I'd like to say to Putin's fans, consider whether he's really doing things that benefit Japan. In my view, Putin is a dangerous person who could do anything in pursuit of his own sense of justice. This sense of seriousness and potential ruthlessness could be why he has fans, but from a Japanese perspective, it's important not to be complacent. Remember, before the war started, many people said Putin would never start a war. So I think it's better to assume that anything could happen with Putin. But putting Putin aside, I want to emphasize that the country pressuring Russia to ban Japanese marine products is China. And I find it even more troubling that some Japanese politicians are complacent about this. In conclusion, I think we should be more concerned about choosing competent Japanese politicians rather than focusing too much on foreign ones. Of course, I'm not all-knowing, so if there's some grand strategy where Putin is actually doing things in Japan's interest, I'd appreciate it if someone could enlighten me in the comments. That's all for today's discussion. See you in the next video.